Welcome to Our Communiversity Today, sponsored by Pendleton Community Bank and Cucumber and Company, a community affairs program from West Virginia Institute of Technology in Beckley, hosted by Dr. Ramon Stuart, president of West Virginia University Institute of Technology, working to make a difference in Southern West Virginia. Guest opinions expressed on this program may not represent the opinions of West Virginia University Institute of Technology, Southern Communications, or its sponsors. And now, with today's program, here's Dr. Stuart.
Welcome to Our Communiversity Today. I'm Dr. Ramon Stuart, president of WVU Tech here in Beckley, and I'm thankful that you chose to be with us as we explore Our Communiversity. And when you think about Communiversity, where we believe the community is the university and the university is the community, one of the integral parts is our ability to be safe. And to provide safety and security, we look to our law enforcement officials, whether it be from the federal level with the FBI to the state level with the state police, down to our counties and even the city. Well, today I have in studio with me Sergeant BJ Adkins, who is with the Raleigh County Sheriff's Office as the sergeant and also community relations and recruitment officer. And we're going to talk about the role that he plays in helping our communiversity do better and be better. So as we explore this topic with Sergeant Adkins, as always, our goal here on Our Communiversity Today is to answer two questions. Why not us? And why not now? So right after this break, we'll be back with more Our Communiversity Today on News Talk WWNR.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride. At Pendleton Community Bank, our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
There are so many ways to explore WVU Tech. Come tour our state-of-the-art facilities, meet our Dean of Students, and learn about student life, from clubs to mental health resources and student support services. See what living on campus is like and get financial aid advice. You'll see why being a Golden Bear is right for you. Visit wvutech.edu/admissions for all the ways to visit our campus.
If your website's lame and it does no good, who you gonna call?
Cucumber! Having your own website doesn't have to be frightening. Cucumber and Company's proven approach will get you online fast. And our prices slime the competition.
Server crashed last night. You ain't got no site. Who you gonna call?
Cucumber! Call Cucumber and Company today, 304-250-0123, or online at cucumberandcompany.com.
Welcome back to Our Communiversity Today. Again in studio is Sergeant BJ Adkins, who serves as the Community Relations and Recruitment Officer for the Raleigh County Sheriff's Department. Sergeant Adkins, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I love the smile on your face. That must suggest that you love what you do.
Absolutely. I could never see myself doing anything else.
All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Sergeant Adkins.
Well, I've been in law enforcement almost 18 years. I started my career 4 years at the Beckley City Police Department before switching over to the Raleigh County Sheriff's Office, and I've been here ever since. And to me, it's been a blessing. It has its ups and downs, but overall, like I said, I couldn't see myself doing anything else.
So almost 2 decades of law enforcement experience. What made you want to be a law enforcement officer?
Well, it started, I grew up in a pretty tragic childhood and don't really have a whole lot of family. Kind of grew up on the streets a little bit. Didn't have adult supervision, and I was just a kid that needed help, and nobody was there. And it was something that I strive to give back and be that for somebody else.
Oh, man, I love it. And, you know, it's amazing how out of the darkness comes the light. And so the tragic childhood was the motivation and the inspiration for you to do better and be better. So I think that is is so fitting. And so 20 years almost again with law enforcement and stuff. And so you've probably seen some things over your career.
I have. I've seen a lot, and there's been, like I said, a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of things that you don't want to see, but you have to see, unfortunately. But there's been a lot of success as well. I've been fortunate and blessed to have helped several individuals, and even just helping one has made a huge impact in my life. And knowing that that's something that I live for and live on long after I'm gone is making that positive impact.
Yeah, I love it. Oftentimes, unfortunately, when we engage with law enforcement officers and everything, and when we see the things going on, we usually see the things that are challenging. But there are so many great things that go on in your career thus far, even before this particular role. What's been one of the most memorable things that prior to this new role that you have? What's been one of the most memorable things of your career?
One of the most memorable things I would have to say would be, it would go back to actually the reason I'm in the position I am now, but I had started a program called Ballin with the Blue and got to interact with kids throughout all schools in Raleigh County. And that has been such a huge blessing in that way as well, because there's kids to this day that are now adults that remember that. And I will run into them and they'll explain, or they'll tell me how things went, the things they remembered about it, and the impact that it's had on them.
So you say Ballin with the Blue. You telling me you got a jumper, or are you the assist man?
No, I got a jump shot.
Okay.
I would say a jumper.
All right. Well, I love it. We're gonna have to see you on the court balling with the Blue. Understanding that impact that you have, where you've helped young people and you now see them as adults and stuff. And I recently met Sheriff Frank Pretty, and Sheriff Pretty took office in January, and he looks forward to being a guest on our show. But he told me early on what he was going to do. And one of the things is, when I talked to him just a couple of days ago, he told me, Doc, I'm really doing what I told you I was going to do. And one of the things that he told me is he was going to get engaged in this notion called Communiversity and help build this community and different things like that. And so one of the things that he did to start to move into the community deeper and those kinds of things is he created your position of community relations and recruitment officer. Tell me, other than Ballin with the Blue, what prepared you for this particular role?
Actually, almost didn't take the position. It was my wife that is the one that was like,
oh, you actually listen sometimes.
Yes.
Huh? Okay, that's a good thing. There's a reason you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Good job.
And I debated on it for a minute, but she was like, how do you expect to help anybody else unless you get out there and tell your story? But I've worked the road my whole career until this position opened up, and it has been a huge success so far with building that relationship within the communities of Raleigh County.
So, and I love it. So you've been out on the street and working the road and different things, and now, you're working with the community and everything. So tell me what a community relations officer does.
I kind of just rolled with it. There really wasn't no agenda or layout on how I was supposed to do it. It was things that I've always felt that should have been done, or building that relationship as getting out, being involved with the community, seeing us in a different light than what they usually see law enforcement in. And that's everything from, I do events with Hike with the Deputy. I do You Are Not Alone outreach. I do work out with the deputy to prepare individuals for physical agility tests or the agility tests to other police departments. So it's just about getting out, doing a little bit of anything, and being involved with everything that's going on in the communities.
Yeah. So now you talk Hike with a Deputy, but You're Not Alone. Tell me more about You're Not Alone.
Well, that is something that I created for an outreach, and it started with going out and giving individuals that may be struggling with substance abuse or mental health or homelessness, anybody that was struggling, to bring them the resources. And it all started when I was on the road, and I would go out trying to find people that I thought maybe needed some resource, or try to get them into rehab if they wanted that. And when I did it, I had one actual individual that was ready to go to treatment, and the only place I could offer her was a resource that she was not willing to take. And I was unaware of the resources that we have. And once I got in this position, I was able to go around and gather the resources, and I started outreach. Well, when that started, everybody started joining in and coming together. So we all partnership, and we go out, meet individuals where they are at, and offer them the resources. We don't force rehab on anybody or treatment center. We just provide them with information. If they're ready to take that first step, we'll get them a place right then and there on the spot.
And what kind of reception do you get from people actually taking that knowledge to them? Are they receptive?
Yes, they are. It was a little weary on the first one, but it was a huge success. 5 people actually went to treatment from that one. But it's all about planting that seed. And like I tell everybody, there's no difference. I may be in a uniform, wear a badge, but there's no difference in any of us. We all bleed the same color. We're all human. We all make mistakes. And like I tell everybody, if I wore my mistakes on my shirt sleeve or had a sign with it, I'm going to feel ashamed and not go up to anybody and ask for help. But it's about showing them the compassion and love and hope and all this kindness that we need to help individuals that may be struggling. Nobody should ever feel alone. And back to my childhood, that's how I always felt. That's where I came up with the name. I always felt alone, and I wasn't provided the resources or didn't know the resources that was there. And it may have played a huge impact differently if I would have been provided the information I know now.
Yeah, and you talk about those resources, and I've observed here in town, there are a lot of things going on, but most of them people do not know about them. What have you done to try to gain an understanding of the resources that are available?
Well, that's a good question, because actually what I've done, and the good thing about this outreach is I'm not a statistics person. I'm not somebody that I could care who else gets credit or anything like that. We're not looking for that. It's about bringing all these individuals and organizations together, letting them also network and seeing what each other has to offer, and then providing that out there, because there's tons out here in Raleigh County alone that has so much to offer. And they've been doing this for years, but nobody really knew about it because you don't hear much about it. And it's about putting the spotlight on them and letting them see that and getting the information out there where it needs to be.
Yeah, I think it's so powerful because there are so many resources, and it's always said all of us are stronger than one of us. Ladies and gentlemen, in studio today, Sergeant BJ Adkins, who serves as the Community Relations and Recruitment Officer for the Raleigh County Sheriff's Department. We're going to take a short break. Stay tuned for more Our Communiversity Today on News Talk WWNR.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride. At Pendleton Community Bank, our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
If your website's lame and it does no good, who you gonna call?
Cucumber! Having your own website doesn't have to be frightening. Cucumber and Company's proven approach will get you online fast. And our prices slime the competition.
Server crashed last night. You ain't got no site. Who you gonna call?
Cucumber! Call Cucumber and Company today, 304-250-0123, or online at cucumberandcompany.com.
Looking for the best college decision in West Virginia? WVU Tech has just been ranked the top school in the state and is the college with the best return on investment. Our 6 ABET accredited engineering programs and nursing program are ranked in the top 100 in the nation. When you become a Golden Bear, you're choosing a top quality education that will pay off. Discover more at wvutech.edu today.
Welcome back to Our Communiversity Today. Again, we have Sergeant BJ Adkins, who serves as the Community Relations and Recruitment Officer for the Raleigh County Sheriff's Department. Now, Sergeant Atkins, I appreciate learning more about your why and everything, but for me, in what I do, I get up, I look at dashboards and everything, and I look at statistics and numbers, now mine are usually enrollment and budget and different things, but you say you're not a statistics guy. And one of the questions I would have is, well, how effective has the program been? But if you're not a statistics guy, do you have numbers? What makes you not be a numbers person?
Well, that's a good question. And the reason I'm not a statistics person is because if you look at my background and my childhood, everything I went through, I was actually told that I was a statistic and I was not supposed to be where I am today. So that is something that I've never been big on because you can easily break that. There's miscommunications on that, and ever since that has always stuck with me, and I've never been a statistic person on that.
You just said a mouthful right there because, again, in the last episode or the last segment, you also talked about if you wore your shortfall or I wore my shortfalls on the shirt, we'd need an extremely long shirt, But you talked about people labeling you and, you becoming a statistic or so. And we spend so much time labeling people and putting people in a box and assuming or telling people things like pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but we're assuming that you have boots and or straps, And so I think it's so profound that as you look at your community outreach and really recruiting for the Raleigh County Sheriff's Department, that you realize that statistics doesn't tell the story of the person. And we need to find a way to get to the crux of the person. So you're in this new role and you see people, unfortunately, many people on some of their worst days. How do you get to the foundation of who those people are? And more importantly, how do you envision what they can be?
Well, a main thing that you have to do, and it's extremely important, is you talk to people like you want to be talked to. It's getting to know somebody and just talking to them and listening. Just listening about what their vision and goals are is a huge thing. And even with the recruitment side, when I talk to recruits that are interested in law enforcement, I never once say that Raleigh County is the best place for you, the sheriff's office. The only thing and my only request is wherever you go, just be a good officer, because you have to have that. Like, we all face battles. We all have different struggles that we have went through and are going through. But there's no difference in any of us. And if we all work together and get to know anybody, then it will tell you a whole lot about somebody.
And so working together, getting to know them and everything, you're here today in the full police uniform, gun, badge, all of that stuff. How do people respond to you trying to get to know them?
And again, that's another good question, because I get asked that all the time, especially to go back to the outreach. People ask me, like, people's going to be scared to come up if they see you in uniform. And my biggest thing is we have to bridge the gap. They have to see, like, I would be out there in jeans and a shirt if I could, but the thing is, it's providing that image so they see, because you look at me and you see law enforcement. That's anybody with the uniform or badge. And it's bridging the gap and them seeing that there's no difference, but we have to be out there to bring us all together.
And so when you talk about bridging that gap, obviously the programming is important. You've talked about Ballin with the Blue, hiking with the deputy. You're not alone. Tell me about how you come up with programs.
Well, I actually used to box Battle of the Badges, and I would go out to the West Coast and talking to other agencies and seeing what they do within their departments has been a huge success on bringing some of those programs back now with our administration, because I will run an ideal by them and they're all for it, as long as it's something to do with the community and building that relations. The thing is that some of these programs have never been offered, to my knowledge, here in the state, and bringing that here and seeing how much scenery we have with the trail systems and all this. It's just an excellent idea, I think, too. And it's something I enjoy doing. And it also shows the human side of law enforcement. Like, we enjoy the same things. Like, let's do them together.
Yeah, so that's excellent. Just taking that common sense approach, not reinventing the wheel, just rolling it around Raleigh County. And so I love that you've been other places, saw opportunities, and brought them back here and implemented them. What are some initiatives or programs that you have either ongoing now beyond the ones we've talked about or in the future?
Well, I'm in the works of several things that I would like to implement in the future as well, and I really haven't came up with a full concept of them yet. But it's programs that are underway that I would like to implement, hopefully by summer next year, and then some things throughout the winter months. Where, of course, we got to stay busy and keep building that relationship. So there's things in the works that I'm working on. I haven't came up with a name or the actual idea or concepts of them. It's just things in the works.
Now let's talk about your other opportunity, the recruitment officer. Obviously, you go out and it's hard for somebody to be what they can't see. So I understand the uniform and the presentation of self, but how does your role as a community relations officer help with the recruiting at the Raleigh County Sheriff's Department?
Well, anytime I'm at an event for community relations or I'm out talking to the public, you'll have individuals come up that has always had an interest in law enforcement, and then being able to provide them with information and see what excites them or what they're interested about in law enforcement, and explaining that and just building that relationship helps me out a long ways, especially on the recruitment side when we open up the hiring phase, because I'm able to stay in contact with the individuals and let them know that we're hiring, and just getting the application out there, giving them tours of the sheriff's office and showing them what we have to offer.
So when you look at the sheriff's department, Raleigh County Sheriff has about 60 officers?
Yes, I think it's in the 50s.
50s.
Yeah.
But the capacity, is it near 60?
I would say it's probably around under 55, if I'm not mistaken.
So are there vacancies? Are there opportunities to explore becoming an officer with the Raleigh County Sheriff's Department?
We actually just gave our test, but you can fill out an application online on our Facebook page. The information's on there. You can do everything online, and once the testing phase is open back up, then we will be in contact. But I usually go through the applications, and I will stay in contact with individuals that have put applications in.
So tell our listeners about the test.
The test, it starts off with the physical agility test, and you'll have to do push-ups, sit-ups, and a mile and a half.
I'm tired already. Okay, keep going.
And then after that, you will have a break, and it'll be several hours, but then you'll come back and take the written exam. And then that's something that will get sent off through the Civil Service Commission. And if you pass that, then you move on to the next phase.
And what is that phase?
That phase consists of a background check, and somebody will be assigned to your background. They'll be in contact with you for interviews and such. And then you'll go through some medical stuff and a polygraph exam. And then after that, you will have an interview with the board. And once that's done, if you get offered and accepted the job, you'll have a swear-in date, and then you'll go off to the academy shortly. But in the meantime, because there's usually a time lapse before you get to go to the academy to be certified, you'll get to learn and ride along and learn the stuff on how the Raleigh County Sheriff's Office processes stuff and the way things are done, so you're not just left in the blind out there. So you'll be learning your whole career. I'm still learning to this day, actually.
I love it. And you work with the recruits and everything to help them get acclimated and comfortable with the rigorous process that's set forward to gain employment.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. So, Sergeant Adkins, earlier I'd asked you prior to coming into this new role, whether it be through your recruitment activities, but this also the community outreach officer. I'd ask you what was one of your most memorable things, and you said, Ballin with the blue and everything. Now in this role, You've been out, you've seen the faces, you've seen the pain, you've seen the smiles. What has been your most memorable moment or moments in your new role as the community relations and recruitment officer?
Well, it's just being involved in showing individuals that there's no difference and bridging that gap and seeing the way that they now know me. When they see me, people come up and will talk, or they'll even ask for resources, and just they see humanizing the badge and that there's no difference. And if we work together, we're only stronger together. And as long as you know you can come to us anytime and talk to us, then that is a huge plus in my book. And of course, I have many stories that I'm proud of and memorable stories, and it would go back to saving lives and all that. But these are just things based on the community relations.
Well, I certainly have one for you. Our mother station, Southern Communications, sponsored Pack the Bus for Raleigh County Schools. And I can remember you standing there by the students of WVU Tech, greeting people, making sure school supplies didn't get away from anyone. And I can just remember the way smiles were on people's faces. So I want to thank you personally for the work that you've been doing. And to our listeners, we're going to take a short break. So stick with News Talk WWNR as we close out this edition of Our Communiversity Today.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride. At Pendleton Community Bank, our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Discover WVU Tech right in your backyard. With 6 ABET accredited engineering programs ranked among the top 100 for engineering and nursing nationwide, WVU Tech offers the best return on investment in West Virginia. Our small, supportive campus is home to high-demand programs in fields like hospitality and culinary, chemical forensics, and the only 4-year construction management degree in West Virginia. Learn more about all the exciting things happening at Tech at wvutech.edu today.
If your website's lame and it does no good, who you gonna call?
Cucumber! Having your own website doesn't have to be frightening. Cucumber and Company's proven approach will get you online fast. And our prices slime the competition.
Server crashed last night. You ain't got no site. Who you gonna call?
Cucumber! Call Cucumber and Company today, 304-250-0123, or online at cucumberandcompany.com.
Welcome back to Our Communiversity Today. Again, I want to thank our guest, Sergeant BJ Adkins of the Raleigh County Sheriff's Department, who serves as the Community Relations and Recruitment Officer. You know, as we look at the things going on in our world today, the fact is many of us need help. Many of us want help, but most of us are fearful of going out and getting it. I want to applaud Sergeant Adkins and also Sheriff Pretty of the Raleigh County Sheriff's Department for taking this proactive approach to what some may call community-oriented policing. Whether it's backing the blue or you are not alone, there are members like Sergeant Adkins of the Raleigh County Sheriff's Department that will meet you where you are and help you go places you've never dreamed of going. And so I ask that you please visit wwnrradio.com for additional information about Sergeant Adkins and the Raleigh County Sheriff's Department, but also look at how you can help build our communiversity today for a brighter Southern West Virginia tomorrow.
You've been listening to Our Communiversity Today, sponsored by Pendleton Community Bank and Cucumber and Company, a production of West Virginia University Institute of Technology and Communiversity partner, Southern Communications in Beckley. For more on this program and contact information, visit our website at wwnrradio.com.